Welcome to Startup on the Blocks. How's everybody doing out there? Thanks for tuning in for our fourth anniversary. I see Savitra is in the back there. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fine, fine. Thanks for joining us, and appreciate you being part of the team to kind of make some things happen here.
Absolutely. I'm so glad to be here and be a part of it. This is a great accomplishment.
Yes, yes. Well, why don't you share what your role has been with working with the founders and some of your other experience with the Kukui Institute?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've definitely learned a lot working with the Kakua Institute. Of course, Lord, you're very resourceful. You've really taught me and shown me that there's so much resources out there for founders. The Kakua Institute's website is absolutely amazing. There's a list on there with different founders' opportunities, and I was able to take advantage of, for example, the Google certifications for my
Okay.
small business to really get insight into more tech fields. And that
Yeah.
really helped me. So, really learning that, working with some of the founders and just really engaging with them and being able to not only teach them some things, but also learning as well, because it's a journey. So, we really have been able to just learn from each other. My background is human resources. So, I have experience being able to interview over 8,000 people. I have interviewed people
Wow,
from
that's a
all
lot.
walks of life. From all industries. And so, what I've been able to do in my business is really take that skill set and teach people how do you communicate effectively if you're looking for a job, even if you're looking to hire a team. And then for the small businesses and the founders, how do you learn how to articulate your products, your service, your passion in a way where it makes sense for the audience so that you can get some additional funding and really grow your business? So, it's just been a great experience.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We appreciate you coming on and sharing that. And yeah, so pitching is the pathway to funding.
It
One
is.
pathway
It
to
really
funding.
is.
Yeah, and so what's your strategy when you're helping somebody learn how to pitch?
Well, it's key to understand your audience and then really make that connection. So, finding out a way to know who's in your audience, connecting with them, finding out what's important to them. Because if you're pitching to an investor, it's going to be different than if you're presenting to, say, like an educational environment. So,
Yes,
making sure you understand who's in the audience and then connecting with them. And then really understanding what is the message that you want to get across and taking time to learn how to articulate that where it makes sense. So, what a lot of founders struggle with is we understand our business, but now we have to make sure we know how to clearly communicate our products, our services. What is our end goals? How will this make you money? How will it be successful to other people who know nothing about our business? So, really taking that time to do your homework and practicing on your communication skills is going to be extremely vital.
fantastic, fantastic. I'm gonna bring Corey up. How's it going, Corey?
It is going well.
Yeah, yeah. So you've been with us for about a year, and so we're excited that you came along to help us out.
No problem, no problem. It's been that long, over a year.
Yeah, because I was looking at when you yeah, it's probably been just a little more than a year because had you on when we after right after we met, and then had you on again, and so it looks like it had been about a year there. So
Yep,
what's
yep.
Yeah, so what's been your role working with the founders?
Just there helping them through. Thankfully, the Kukua Institute pointed me in the right direction with the LeanStack. So I went from kind of old school doing the business plan the old way,
Yes.
and got into mapping my knowledge to the LeanStack method,
Yeah.
and then helping folks kind of get through their lean stack and lean canvas, and kind of position their business correctly, making sure. And I come from more of a finance investing background, so I try my best to interject that into the lean canvas, especially the lower left and lower right part of the lean canvas, and try
Yes.
to get them to the point where they're fundable. And that's been that's been the fun part for me, because I think, as we've talked about in several occasions, um, that's probably the most difficult part, getting a good idea and being able to put the numbers around it and quantifying it to the point where it's fundable and taking it from there.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. So, but you also had some experience working with other startups as well, right?
Oh yeah. So I've had some exits of my own. So the four exits. So the first one was Meetup.com, Voltage, Composite Software. Have all been some exits, and my latest exit was actually a painting. So which is not even a business at all. But the thing is it's like it just kind of goes with the whole. A lot of these things, there's a lot of misinformation out there, and I would say a large majority of the work is kind of going through all the information and figuring out the right order, jumping into the garbage dump, as I've been talking to a lot of people about here lately, understanding where it is, understanding where your business is at, and then kind of making sure you take that straight path to getting funding or however it's aligned for your business.
Right.
Not every business needs an investor. Sometimes if your yields are 20-30%, you're probably better off getting business loans and grants. So it's kind of knowing where you are in the GPS map of funding.
Gotcha. So yeah, it's been good, great having somebody, with your background to kind of work with the founders and support them. And so in that year's time, you went from you came on as a level 1 coach as soon as you got started, and then you all the way up to a level 3 coach now, right?
Yep. I drank all the Kool-Aid. Because it's that good. But you go to bankers, and I've done this with my own business. You go to bankers, and you give them a business plan. They're not going to read it, right? So
Right.
you give them the lean camp. Oh, they get a good idea what your business is about, and then you could show them the financial statements and raise some business credit quickly. And I've done that already. So with so from experience, I know that you could take the lean canvas, put that side by side with your financial model, and talk to a banker and raise some money. And thanks a lot, Lloyd, because one of the things that I have not been privy to is this whole grant world, like raising money using grants and also winning the pitch competitions. In my experience, I kind of leapfrog that and just jump straight into business credit and so on and so forth. And then the next step was actually putting together a PPM and things of the sort and try to raise investor money. But not all businesses have a high enough yield to go for investment money. So so it's good to kind of good, top down and now kind of like bottom up and kind of meet in the middle and get that full idea of what the capital raising landscape is. And that's been a pretty interesting journey for myself.
Yeah, a lot of people get confused, about the type of money that's available for you in those early idea stage and all the way up to product market fit. And so one of the reasons, why we started the Startup on the Blocks program was so that we can help folks learn the best practices for building a startup, and especially that money part, because you have an idea, and so the best time to raise money is when you reach that product market fit. But what do? That may be 2 years away. So what do? And the idea really is you have to leverage the startup ecosystem. And so at the idea stage, you can develop your business model and start pitching that business model and win pitch competition. So that's kind of what people have trouble understanding. For me, I remember, I think it's 2016, 2017, Cox had a Get Started program. So you had to explain what your business idea was in 250 words, and they selected 5 people who participated in that competition to actually pitch their idea. But and the only paperwork you had to submit was 250 words.
Right.
So,
it's very interesting, and like as you know, I work with some trust and some not-for-profits and kind of as well, And one of the things is what do you do with that money after you win the grant or you get the, and one of the things I'm trying to work with folks and is making sure you invest before you spend, because you shouldn't have to be a startup with your back against the wall. You should be able to have a little bit of a salary, even if it's, $500,000 every month, based upon that initial seed money that you're able to raise, even before your product market fit. And one of the things that I've done with my company is just off of the investments as well, and generating revenue off of it, you now qualify for business credit because you have assets generating income. And when a bank sees assets generating income, you will now qualify for a loan. So it kind of goes downhill like that. So I'm looking forward to kind of the future in which we could potentially get that type of financial engineering.
I really, definitely think, as the founders progress and start getting those sales and growing at that 10x rate,
right?
But so like, so with that Cox story I was just mentioning, that was for our ideal stage, and basically that particular competition, they gave you $5,000 cash and $20,000 in in-kind services. So that that was an interesting type situation. But yeah, so that's kind of, we had a first workshop on a 90-day launch program for a cohort with the Black Founder Program, and one of the ladies, she was saying she had got a $5,000 grant, and another one had said she had got a $20,000 grant, and so the idea is that I'm trying to explain this without a chart, but so like you're not making any money, but and you're pitching your business model, and you're getting into programs that give you money, and so that's the first major program I got in. It actually gave $25,000, and that was pre-revenue thing. And so there's a lot of programs out there, but you have to learn how to pitch your business model clearly and concisely. And so that's kind of why we started, based on my experience out in the startup world, back 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, I was finding out about all these startup programs from all these big major corporations. And I tell people one example. In 2013, I got what Microsoft, it was, now they call it Microsoft Startup, but back then it was called, what was it called? It was BizSpark. And so if you had a team of 5 people, they gave each one of the people on the team $200 a month in cloud credit, and you got all the software from Microsoft. So to this day, I don't pay for Microsoft software, and that's been, so that was a startup program. Other companies have startup programs as well, and so that's what founders have to do, is realize that there's, what the first step is, designing a scalable business model and learning how to pitch it. But what we do in the LEANSTACK training, the business model design training, is specifically designed to take you from an idea to a business model that's scalable, but you stress test it in between. And people still struggle with that concept, and they struggle with the concept that you can pitch your business model, and actually that's what investors want to hear. Your customers want to hear about your product or service, but the people that want to help you want to hear about your business model.
Right. Hence why your business model is the product.
Yes. So, but it's definitely, Savitra, it's hard for people to kind of grasp that in the beginning. But once you grasp it, you'll see the difference that it's made. But and you help people writing grants also, don't you, Savitra?
Yeah, so not so much grant writing, but just really learning how to articulate, what is the end result. And like you said, with the lean stack method, so last year when I went through the whole program and I became certified, it is definitely a new concept, because
Yeah.
it's not something, you know, everyone hears about. You got to create a business plan. You expect to put all this time and effort into it. But the lean stack model is completely different from what you normally hear on a regular basis, even when you go to your traditional banks and you're kind of starting out. But it really does make sense because a lot of times, as Corey mentioned, they don't always look at the business plan, but it's easy for them to grasp, you know, the lean stack model when you complete it. Another thing I wanted to point out, you know, not only do I do what I do with my business, but I'm also the executive director for Pentapreneur Kids. And so we
Okay.
actually work with little kids, young ones, as young as 6 up to 17, and we teach them about entrepreneurship. So,
Fantastic.
you know, sometimes it can be very scary for founders to kind of put yourself out there. Some people are introverts and they're just not used to being in that sort of setting and talking about their business. But if the little kids can do it, elementary school, middle school kids, just push yourself, do it. Learn how to find that value that you can bring to the table because you're never too young, you're never too old. If you have that vision for your business, keep believing in yourself. But then you got to be willing to put in the work. So you've got to do your homework. You got to make sure you're prepared, surround yourself in the right environment with people who can help you get there. And you're going to make some mistakes. It's okay. It's going to happen to everybody, but those are learning experience. And those are things that I've learned. So just put yourself out there, but make sure you do your work so you're prepared, no matter your age, whether you're young, whether you're old, or whether you're middle age like myself.
Fantastic. Yeah, so we got some founders out there. If you founders turn your cameras on, I'll bring you on stage. And so there's Carlos, and who else got their camera on? Oh, there's Darnell. Oh, well, let's get one more. We got a Darnell and Rosario. They're both founders and coaches. So let's hear from them as well.
Hey, how's it going? Hi.
Yes. Yeah. Why don't you you two tell about your founders experience and also about your coaching experience?
Okay. So we did the 30-day and 90-day accelerator program.
Yes.
It was pretty cool. We had Corey, who was our coach, and also we spoke with Vince, and Lloyd
Yeah.
helped as well. But it was really hard. It was hard at first because it was a lot of material to get through. And you know, when it's the first time seeing it, it can be a lot to take in. But then once you speak to your coaches and everyone else, then you like kind of like hammer in on the basics, and then like reading the material more and more, then you get more accustomed to it.
Gotcha. So you all participated in the Blacks in Technology. One of the cohorts was the cohort 2.
I'm not sure what
Cohort 1 or 2, and then y'all did, I think, but probably was 2, and y'all also participated in the launch program for Blacks in Technology as well, right?
Yeah.
So how do you contrast your experience in the 30-day business model design program and the 90-day program?
I would say that I mean, it's been like almost a year now. So it's like there's been so much, like not just being in the 30 and 90-day programs ourselves, but also working with the other founders in both of those. So like I guess I would say like our experience, like we definitely kept learning as peer mentors and as coaches throughout everyone else's programs. But I would say is like the first, probably like the 30-day program, you know, because of everything was new, that it was you know, it was a bit more like overwhelming because like it's a lot of new information. But then I think, you know, with the 90-day and even just, you know, like I was saying, like working with the other founders for the other cohorts, it's like it's like we're always refining our business model and what we're doing. So it's like we're always learning through it, and like each time it's like, you know, Yeah, just keep going.
So I just had a thought, since the concepts are new, one of the things I did with the third cohort of the Black Founders Program, I created a prompt that did all the deliverables for the 30-day program. So you can actually see what the answers look like to kind of help get over some of that mental overload of the material. But the irony of the whole thing is the Ash that created the program. He's an engineer, and engineers like to use charts and graphs, to kind of. But I think all of you all, when you see like a chart, like even like the traction roadmap chart, that explains the 30-day program, the 90-day program, and the level 3 launch. Growth program or whatever it's called. But anyway, it's all in sequence. And then like when in the 30-day and 90-day, he has this chart that goes from left to right, and it starts off with one big idea canvas, and then 5 variants, and then the desirability test, and then the viability test, and then the feasibility test, and it's all in sequence, but it's literally telling you that's the steps you have to do step by step. So mentally, if you kind of realize that, you can actually get through the program a lot easier.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It was definitely just taking the time to like dump all your ideas from the big idea onto one sheet at first, and that's probably like the most difficult because like it's like we have like so many ideas, and then you kind of have to like narrow them down. So it's like I guess it wasn't the big idea, but like just narrowing them down and putting them into specific categories was like the more challenging part.
Yeah. Totally.
Well, I think what I would say about that, and that's what everyone needs to understand, in the LeanStack platform, there's tools for you to evaluate your idea. So now you have a tool. No matter what idea you have, you can actually get in the platform and evaluate that idea for desirability, viability, and feasibility. And so you can have as many ideas as you want to, but now that you know how to use the tools, you can go in, like the viability takes less than 5 minutes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what the idea is. So Danny, why don't you provide us some comments here about Danny? Your mic is on there. I mean off. I mean muted. Your mic is muted.
A specific question, or did you want me to just talk about my experience?
So you in kind of a unique situation. You went through the 30-day program, and then you did a peer thing on the Blacks in Technology, their first launch program, and now you kind of went back through it your own idea. You regrouped and went through the 30-day program and now the 90-day program. So like, tell us what your experience has been like.
Okay, so my experience has been really great. I would definitely have to agree with Darnell and Rosarian about everything they said. I would say ditto to everything, putting all of your ideas down on because you come up with so many ideas. You're like, well, I can also just make it for individuals, and I can make it for this and that. So it's exciting, but it seems to be more overwhelming.
Yes.
The second thing that I would say is that it's really good to go through all the different levels, meaning your 30-day and perhaps even assisting on a team and then going into building your own thing, because it helps to kind of slow you down and give you time to mention, you're able to work with others, kind of get ideas, see what works, see what doesn't work, kind of see someone else mess up before you mess up. And so that's super helpful, no offense. But I'm an adjunct professor. I work a full-time job. So I had a lot of things going on that just prevented me from giving it my full attention the first couple of iterations, but now it's got my full attention, so I'm excited.
Good. Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that. And Corey, you can probably comment on this too. Is it's like the you yeah, when life is happening all the time, and one of our founders, he's taking care of two young kids under 4 years old. His wife has cancer. His mother-in-law has a stroke. So he's taking care of all of them, and it's just a lot of stuff to mentally balance. And so the deal, so it's literally it's you kind of have to definitely have to allot out some time or whatever. But it's hard for people to separate things, but you just have to find a way to do it. Yeah. So any of the other founders, you all like find it hard to set aside some time to kind of move forward?
Hi, Lloyd. This is Roland here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have a young child as well, about to turn 2. So it's definitely a challenge, but it is a sacrifice that you make to invest in yourself. And the bigger thing is that people are investing in you. So, it behooves you to come in here and show appreciation by at least giving it your all. So irrespective of what you're going through, you and the Kakua Institute, your family, and everybody who helps, all the mentors, they're investing their time into you and pouring into you. And I can tell you now, I am greatly appreciative. It touches my heart to even be a part of a community of like-minded individuals of all stature, all different types of fields, all different types of backgrounds. And it's just amazing to be a part of the community. It's a blessing to have found the community. I think that the Facebook marketing helped, because if I recall, that's where I found it. So keep on marketing. I guess your SEO is proper. But yeah, I definitely think that people should understand that this is a sacrifice that you make to invest in yourself, and that you have a responsibility to actually work hard and show appreciation for the sacrifices being made for you.
I think if folks really understood the amount of money that they're leaving on the table by not getting the basics down, it's because like what's her name, Shantia, she won the pitch competition last Thursday, and I think she was saying she's got 2 other pitch competitions coming up this month. One's for $50,000 and one for $100,000. And so, but and she hasn't actually learned all the stuff what the judges are looking for, but the LeanStack platform and a startup science platform, it actually has information in there. So you have to dedicate the time to do it, because the longer you wait to do that, the more money you're leaving on the table. It's literally that simple. And I don't think people realize you start a startup so you can kind of make a better living for yourself, but you have to realize, in order to make it work, you have to up that knowledge, and that's what we're here for, to close that knowledge gap, so you can understand what the folks that want to help you do, and and that's what it boils down to, is that you got this whole ecosystem out there that's creating all these programs for anybody and everybody, but if you don't have the basic knowledge, you can't even get in the program. And that's where we come in to provide you with the basic knowledge, the foundation, so you can fill out the application correctly and articulate your business idea correctly. And that's what the 30-day is all about. And the 90-day is about showing you how to get customers and to start making money. Carlos, you've been involved with us for quite quite a while now. What's been your experience?
It's definitely been an amazing experience, and I'll share real quick that I want to share how I met Lloyd though, because I was looking for an artist I met at gallery night, in 2019, and as me and my mother were looking, we was told about the Village Street, so we looked there, and our path just happened to cross though with Lloyd, and I was already learning though from though, considering that one of the things that I learned though was that of course I was raised up in the country and in the woods, and of course the benefit of being country is that it teaches you to be resourceful, but the biggest con though was limited thinking, and that is that's really a true. But as I got to get involved with startup on the blocks in 2020, aka the year of fishing, uh, I started learning how to be resourceful and how you connect with people. And of course, I was scared at first, but as I began to learn, I started making connections. Because, for example, as I learned the pitch, though, I did a pitch though about my idea on 1 million cups, and someone from TLE was impressed with that pitch, and I've been connected with them though ever since. I've been connected with them with I think like over a year, at some point, and thanks to some of the knowledge I learned from Lloyd and Startup on the Blocks, I went from being able to have access to certain resources and connections though from Startup on the Blocks to do TLE. It's like Startup on the Blocks can starts with one door and it can connect to other doors, but of course you gotta grow, you gotta put in the work, because one thing about startups is this though, it'll teach you how to deal with rejection though in terms of promoting your ideas. Because at gallery night I was promoting my idea, and long story short though, I got more no's than yeses. I got completely ignored, I got the look and stuff, but of course it taught me how to deal with rejection like a champ. You got to have a business mind with a warrior spirit, and you got to still tell people though God bless you and stuff. But as you're working on your pitch and promoting your idea though, you're gonna go through a lot of no's before the right yes. And of course, I found out firsthand that even if you don't win a pitch competition, don't whine about it. Don't be salty. Learn and grow from it. And even though I didn't win in the last pitch competition, hey, that's okay though, because the main things that I learned, and once I saw where I messed up at, I was like, oh, I got a lot of room though to improve. And of course, I also had to learn firsthand that you got to shoot your shot though in multiple places. So thanks to Startup on the Blocks and Lord Rashad, though, it gave me the courage to step out on my idea and to grow and to build confidence and things like that, which has been, you know, awesome, because I'm used to not going for that idea out of fear of rejection or being roasted, ironically, because I really have been like, bullied, before, and bullying though can kill your confidence, but when you're around, a tribe though like Startup on the Blocks, it can boost your confidence as long as you put in the work. So
Yes.
it's been incredible.
Well, Carlos, one thing, so when we first got started with Startup on the Blocks, we had a playbook. And so I can say you did try to follow the playbook by, participating in stuff. But we'll talk about the playbook a little later. I see Lloyd Jr. showed up, and so we're going to have him share his experience over the past 4 years or more.
Oh, okay. Oh, hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm popping in a little bit late, but I could not miss this opportunity to celebrate with my father 4 years of Startup on the Blocks. And many of you all only usually see me during the pitch competitions or demo days, because I'm the person to tell everyone to be quiet. And but but I do have other roles within Kakua Institute. And I'm just so amazed at seeing each one of our founders through the course of doing the pitch competitions, demo days, the cohorts. Everyone has found their own way, and I'm usually the person who actually sits and sees the details of, like, are they taking the classes? Did they attend the workshops? Even though I'm not physically there, I'm the one taking on all of that information and kind of looking at that. And so seeing how people get through the work and navigate it in their own way is also a unique experience, because I'm always in the background rooting for each and every one of you all, and seeing how everyone grows. I also get a chance to sometimes see some of the mentors and coaches. I don't work with them so much, but they've been so gracious over the past couple of years to come on and talk about their experience and share with us the details of investment, the details of following the LeanStack model. And then our judges. We've had so many amazing judges over the course of our time here that literally give of their time just to support our founders. And they do that out of the kindness of their heart and out of the motivation of what they want to do. You know, I see Rosarian and Darnell on, and I'm so excited to see you all, because I remember when y'all first started and the amazing startup that you all have regarding plant-based foods and things like that. And now you all are mentoring other founders, and you all have made it such an effort to do that. And that really just kind of is what I think my father was looking at from the very beginning, is saying, like, hey, we can support one another. We can grow as entrepreneurs, and we can support one another. I kind of sit on the outside in the sense of I get to see you all doing the work. But one thing that I notice is that the people of color, the Black community, we need to have that place to be supported. And I feel like Startup on the Blocks has created that space. And I think what you all don't know is my father has always been like this. This is this is just the iteration of where it's manifesting now. But he's always had a passion for entrepreneurship. I grew up watching him like have different little businesses, and we would go to the flea markets and sell different things that he was working on and everything. So I mean, this entrepreneurship thing is not just these 4 years. It's been a long time of growth, and to see this community that has been created over the past 4 years is just incredible. And I'm honored to see all your work, Dad. And trust me, he's doing the majority of the work. I will tell you that.
It's the whole team, and I'm going to share my slides here to kind of show. And if you don't hang in there, because I got some of the stuff I want you all to see here.
Okay.
Let's see, share my screen here. Yeah, and so most of you all, or you may not have heard the story why we got started, but so during my time trying to build my startup, I was participating in the startup ecosystem and taking advantage of the resources, traveling all over the world, Poland, Europe, with my startup, San Francisco. And I just paid attention to what these folks were doing and how they're leveraging the resources. But leveraging the resources wasn't a new idea for me. My whole life, that's what I did. And so even when I worked for the government, I grew our budget to like $40 million a year for the branch I ran, because leveraging resources and partnering with other organizations to kind of get things done. So we use that same strategy here with the Cohorts Institute and the Startup on the Blocks. And you see, this is just a few of the sponsors and partners that we have. We just signed an official agreement with Make Startups that we will leverage their program. It's another training program, but it actually measures the skills of the entrepreneur. And at the end, you can actually get a certification. And so, but it's neat to say when you fill out your application to get in the Make Startup, it tells you how well it grades your application, because the questions you're asking in your application how well you articulate it kind of signifies your skills. And so you get a score that kind of shows what your entrepreneurship skills are. And then you can see your skills progress as you go through the training. So I'm really excited about that, and actually interested in, if you're interested in going through that program to see how it works. I'm definitely looking for let me get right out here. Yeah, he's saying congrats, but he's saying where is this logo? And we got you covered, Ron. Don't worry. This yeah. So Ron sponsored our Black Founders Innovation Summit, and he was our first sponsor. He's our founding sponsor. So I have to take the heat if Ron is going to give it to me. But yeah, so Ron is definitely a good guy. Yeah. So the bottom line is, as in life, you have to leverage resources if you want to move forward. And so all of these companies, and like I said, this is just some of them but I know Corey and I and Donnell and Rosarian, we all met through the Blacks in Technology, and so that was the best partnership we had, because it exposed us to more founders. So Blacks in Technology, for those of you who don't know, it's got over 30,000 members, and it follows the same model as the Gaku Institute, making people aware of opportunities for training, founders programs, you name it. And so if you're not a member taking advantage of those resources, shame on you, because they're there for you. And so all of these folks are instrumental. Florida Power and Light is kind of instrumental, was because they provided our first funding for the LEANSTACK program that allow us to do the business model design stuff. And a lot of people don't know, we went through a lot of different programs before we actually got to the LEANSTACK and the startup science to support founders. So our strategy was, use what's out there that was free, and send the founders that way, because one of those things was the startup school. And so, why not go to the startup school? Because it's got the biggest, it open source everything related to being a founder. And so you literally, even if you could connect with that and go through that, you literally have all the information, all the resources you actually need. But yeah, it's just an example. So that's kind of, we can't do this stuff without all these partners. And so and we started getting some AI partners too, Pitch Bob and Coda. I don't have the Coda thing up here, but yeah, so to help founders move forward a little faster. And so this is what you all did, the coaches, the mentors, we were able to do this is our 197th event tonight. And so since August 13th in 2020, that's when we got started. And the story of part of the reason why I got started, I have been going to all these, being a founder, going to all these things, and then participating in ecosystem here in Pensacola. And I kept bringing all these ideas back, and nobody would implement any of them. And so Lloyd Jr. got tired of me bitching about it, and he said, "Dad, why don't you just do it yourself?" And that's how we got this program started. And so, so you all can see all these different things, and our plan is to keep growing these partnerships. And a lot of the early partners like Spark XYZ, they let us use their platform for free for 6 months. We use Startup Rocket exposed their whole platform to us. And it literally had step by step going from an idea to an MVP. We still have that available for founders. And so we use open source software like LeanStack, leantime.io, where you can actually, it's a product management for startups, And so it's just all these tools out there that people literally let us use them for free because we're helping Black founders. And so that, to me, that's pretty powerful and wonderful. Yeah, and so it's all about, if you got an idea, how do you turn that into a high growth business? That's what we wanted people to do. And we wanted to work with people at the idea stage, and also people at already out there with a business or startup. And so the other model that I followed was created by a guy named Dale Gines and Rodney Sampson. So they created this approach where the startup ecosystem has to be vibrant so more people can become aware of it. Because when you get hit with a big idea, what are you going to do? And that's what the challenge is. And so what we've seen, and is that the first step is you got to have that founder's mindset, and then you have to learn how to build a scalable business model. And so all the programs I participated in through my startup journey, we built the lean canvas, but not one told us how to make it scalable. And so that's knowledge that you get in the business model design. And Ron is always on me about having a conference, so we plan on doing an annual. I'm gonna start calling it the Ron Moore Black Founders Innovation Conference. So Ron, if y'all know Ron flew all the way from St. Louis down here, and we were glad to see him and have him down here. So that's pretty fantastic. Yeah, and so so this Develop Your Founders Mindset, Sam Altman, and we have in our actual playbook, we have the link to his talk on the founder's mindset. So it gives you an idea of what it's like to be a founder. Learn to pitch your business model clearly and concisely. All of y'all that's in the business model design thing, that's what that's all about. And so this was the start of our playbook. And so we didn't have training programs, all this stuff. So we said, well, at least we'll give everybody a playbook so they can actually go out there and do it themselves. And the first thing was learn to get the mindset, but learn the methodology. And so this was I was telling you about the startup school run by Y Combinator. Y Combinator has been in existence since 2005, 2006, and all the stuff that they ever did with startups, they have a library there, and you have free access to that library, and so that's a good deal. Build your online presence. Your online presence is equivalent to your credit, at a bank, because if folks don't see what you're building or know what you're building, you don't have no credibility. So you have to participate to get credibility. Join local startup communities, attend weekly networking events, and leverage the ecosystem. That's kind of what the strategy really is. And so all those things that we've accomplished over the past. Does anybody have any questions about anything I said before we get into the team stuff? Anybody? Comments? Yeah. So that's what we're trying to communicate to people. If you don't do this, you're not going to get the help you need, because you have to have credibility. When you get in one program, that program refers you to another program, and people see the progress you're making. And so that's how you move forward. If they don't see you doing anything, you don't have any credibility. So if you're keeping your idea a secret and you're not participating in the program, nobody knows who you are. And when you apply for something, who is this person? you have to become visible, and that's what that playbook is all about. So yeah, and these are a LEANSTACK coaches and the my junior here. So yeah, this is I can't thank all these folks because they're the ones that interface directly with the founders and kind of help them move forward there. And we also, before we got involved in the LeanStack program, we were leveraging mentors, to work with the startups and that had different expertise. And all these folks are around to help. We just hadn't connected the founders with all the folks with the variety of background. We lost one of our mentors a couple of years ago, and that was really devastating. So Rodney Jackson, and so, but yeah, that's the challenge of this startup stuff. We also we were getting ready to have a pitch competition one time, and one of the guys that were going to participate, he passed away the week before. So it's life. It's crazy out here. And so we just, and that's why I understand you founders when you say you having challenges and issues. So we also had a bunch of judges, and I just did a couple of shots. But he's probably our number one judge. He's participated in a lot of stuff, and he works for the First Bank, which sponsored, one of our big sponsors as well. Lucy, she loves, judging pitch competitions and giving advice. And Tracy, can't say enough about her as well. So they've been with us a while. And this particular group here was really interesting back at the Cohort 4. They were literally volunteering to actually help the founders and wanted to be on their team and stuff to kind of build stuff. So that's pretty neat. Yeah. And so this group, I know where's Danny? I know you remember Billy. He gave you a hard time. You remember that, Danny?
How can I forget that? Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. So yeah, he's it's he's was a good judge as well. Kimberly, she's out. I think she's left there and she's working for either Google or Facebook up in New York now. And Chandra also works for the First Bank. And y'all definitely need to get to know Mars. He's an investor, and so he does the Black Men Talk Tech as well. So he's a pretty good guy. And here's Rodney Jackson. Man, we miss him. And so Ted works for Antifree Hotel, and they sponsored our first 4 pitch competitions. So we can't say enough about that. And so we've been involved with folks all over the world that's been supported. Asafa, he's an investor as well. He was able to help us out in one of the pitch competitions. And that's basically it for the, kind of giving an idea of who all made it happen. I would mention this real quick. For those of you who are interested in the IP stuff, this, if you go to that Black Innovation Florida, fl.org/events, you can get access to this, sign up for the next 3 events that are coming up. We had the first one last week. And so that's a pretty good deal there as well. All righty. So stop sharing that. Ready. So that's kind of what enabled the 4 years to happen, and so you all played a big role in that as well, and we'll appreciate all of you all. So I'll open up the floor for anybody with questions or anything else they would like to say. I guess we also supposed to say what's Corey. You got some announcements here for what's some community stuff here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Matter of fact, let me drop that in The chat. So we been doing some work on a Discord channel. So it's not just for gamers. So it's actually a community where you go ahead and join, and we're trying to encourage 24/7 kind of connectivity with other members and coaches. One of the things that we are working on is setting up all the AI bots inside of the channel. So hopefully you'll be able to go in there, talk to ChatGPT or Midjourney, and our goal is eventually maybe be able to generate your logo or talk to the ChatGPT box directly. So we'll be working on some other integrations. So feel free to jump in, join, and we're going to organically grow that community. You could join on your phone, you could join on your computer. And if you're, working on your business and have a few questions, you'll have other founders and myself and the other coaches available to help answer questions. So you don't have to wait for a meeting. You can just go ahead and jump into the Discord and ask any questions that you have. And there's also impromptu video. And I think I surprised Lloyd earlier today with some an audio chat. So we'll be able to do little things like that to encourage more collaboration.
Yeah. So tell us, run the features by us again, Corey, so we can make sure we understand that.
Sure. So basically, the Discord server it's kind of just like a lot of people use it for streaming video, for gaming and things like that. And it has evolved to this whole other beast where a lot of people that have open source projects, they have their own Discord channels and whatnot. I actually belong to a handful of other channels or servers that they kind of coordinate there as well. But some of the features are there's bots. We're setting up the AI bots for ChatGPT, Midjourney, so you can generate images and stuff like that. It's not fully online. I think I saw the ChatGPT bot answer a few people already in the chat. So it's not 100% online, but you could start jumping in, and we're going to have channels for every cohort, so you could talk to your fellow cohort members in a general chat. So it's just going to be a place where we could just have open dialogue 24/7, installed on your phone, installed on your computer, and you can reach out to us and even talk to the AI bots or whatever other integrations we put in there. There's going to be a calendar in there as well. So I don't know how much we're going to integrate with that, but that'll be a place that you'll be able to take a look at some events. I'm not too sure. Maybe we'll get it in sync. I don't know, but it's evolving.
Yeah, and so that was one of the goals we had for this year. We wanted to be able to have a community where we can share information, share resources on more of a real time basis. And I think I appreciate you, setting that up so we can kind of get the ball rolling on that and get more engagement. Yeah, because it's like, so we have founders are having success, but if you don't have a good channel to kind of share that, and it helps motivate other founders as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So and one thing, just so you all know, Ash is starting to make these videos that explain what goes on in the so he's got one for the wide now elevator pitch, and he also has one for the traction roadmap. So they're really, really good. If we had more time, I would kind of share them here. But yeah, if you looked on the LEANSTACK or Ash Murray channel on YouTube, you'll see him. He's starting to, because these are some great tools that he has, and so that people can become aware of. But by becoming a part of our ecosystem, you actually get access to those tools for free. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. So I definitely appreciate everybody for coming in and sharing. So I was trying to think of what else we got gonna have going on this year. yeah, so we're offering a lot of services, and I guess I need to make them more more visible. So like we have a service that we can generate tech reports for founders. So if your startup is in a certain arena, we can do a report that lets you all the technical folks there. Then we also could generate market research reports as well for founders. And of course, we're leveraging the AI stuff to help the founders get through the training as well. Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate you both. Any parting words before we get out of here? And well, I guess we can do a simulated toast or something. Congratulations for 4 years there. We appreciate you both.
And Lord, we appreciate you as well. Thank you for all your hard work and everything that you do to invest in us and the founders. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's I learned a lot too from working with the founders and the coaches and so so it's I think everybody benefits in one way or the other. Lloyd Jr., anything else you want to share before we get out of here?
No, I just want to say thank you all for participating these past 4 years. We have still a lot more to do. You are part of the community, so join us. Tell other people about what's going on. Just by being a part of the community helps you to become more engaged and learn a little bit more. I learned just from watching everyone else pitching and everyone else inspired by their ideas. So be in a place where people are innovating. It's what people haven't done before. So that's why it feels uncomfortable a little bit. But I want you to embrace that discomfort and just enjoy the learning process. And I think you have a community group here to support you.
Fantastic. So in your opinion, Lloyd Jr., this is a loaded question, but how does being a startup founder relates to being an opera performer? He was one I guess one time.
Oh, yeah, yes, that's right. For those of you who don't know, I am an opera singer. I travel periodically. I'm currently in Columbia, Missouri, working on an opera right now as we speak. But part of that is by doing the work. I would say that's the biggest thing is opera singing doesn't happen overnight. You have to train years and years to make sure that your voice sings the right way and makes the correct tones and hits all the high notes and the low notes. In the same way, your business and your startup has to do those same things. And you have to have an exit strategy because that voice isn't going to stay with you forever. You're going to get old and rickety, and that voice is going to get old and rickety too. So you better have a retirement plan when you're ready to go. So you got to have an exit strategy. So all of that stuff still plays in there. And so I'd say for all of you, your idea, even though it's a lot at the beginning, remember, it's not your whole life. You can grow beyond that. You can make your idea exponential. You can sell it. You can make money. You can make generational and dynastic wealth for you and your family. And so that's all capable through learning a little bit about business. And I hope that you all just stay motivated. And Savidra and Corey and everybody who's participated over the years, you all have such a passion, and we thank you all so much because you all are doing something that is holding a lot of potential. You too, Dad. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, well, it's definitely is fun, and I think just my last comments are that there's so many organizations out there that want to help Black founders, and so but the Black founder has to put in the work. And the simplest thing to do is just follow the roadmap or the strategy that's there. And I tell people this over and over again. Like when I worked for the Air Force Research Lab, every project we worked on had never been done before. We didn't know if it could actually even materialize. But what we did know was the process, the methodology. We followed the methodology whenever we had to build something new. And that's what the startup thing is about. You have to follow the lean startup methodology if you want to go from one step to the next step to the next step. If you don't follow methodology, you don't know where the hell you are, when you or whatever. And so that's why it's so important that you get going there. All righty, I'm going to get off here, my soapbox. Appreciate you, Corey, and Tavidra and Lloyd Jr. Thank you all for hanging in there with us. And we'll see you all next week on the Discord channel, huh, Corey?
Yep.
All right. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Have a good one.
Have a good night.
All right. Bye.